Welcome back to Wild Deer Convenience Store, where the strange and unsettling lurk in every corner. Today, Chapter 6, The Sound Outside the Door. Anwei Li faces a chilling encounter. What's happening in this store? Brace yourself for the next twist. Chapter 6, The Sound Outside the Door. Anwei Li stood frozen behind the counter, her feet numb. I must look like that woman right now. Eyes wide with fear, a distant thought whispered. She must have seen it wrong. A strange man, oddly dressed, shadowing someone wasn't impossible. She could call for help. But Anwei Li stood paralyzed, watching the woman enter. She turned into an aisle, the man gliding behind her, silent and fluid like a shadow. He stayed close, steps matched to hers as if tethered. His breath should have stirred her hair, but it didn't. At first, Anwei Li thought his face was broad, with a flat nose and puffy eyes. But as they turned in sync, like a practiced dance, the nose swayed in the air. Then it hit her, what his face really was. The scene flashed by. As the woman moved deeper into the aisles, only his grayish back and head remained visible. Impossible. No one's face could be like that. Was it a costume? Someone like this, trailing a woman, would wear a disguise. Yes, a creep in a costume. Why was she still frozen? Hands trembling. Anwei Li fumbled for her phone. Eyes locked on the pair. The woman clearly knew he was there. Her face screamed terror. But why act calm, browsing chips and checking prices in a store? Her hands shook so hard. She had to call for help. Maybe the woman entered to seek aid, too scared to act. Anwei Li raised her phone, unlocked it, glanced at the screen, then fixed her gaze back, terrified something would happen if she looked away. Using peripheral vision, she tapped 110. As she hesitated to dial, the woman turned sideways, and so did the man, revealing his profile. It wasn't a costume. What she'd mistaken for a nose was stirring, lengthening, its tip brushing the woman's hair. For a second or two, time blurred. Nausea surged while burning her throat, cold sweat breaking out. Unable to look longer, she glanced down. Her phone had accidentally dialed Ep6-8. Hello? Anwei Li, his voice crackled. It's me, she whispered, crouching behind the counter, swallowing bitter acid. Fighting tremors, she hissed. A strange man's in the store. He's odd, and his face it's wrong. Can you come? Silence stretched for seconds. She'd blown it, mentioning the face. Ep6-8 must think she's unhinged. If she'd just said creep, maybe. Beeps cut through, he hung up. Why disconnected? Stunned, she redialed. She should have called the police, but it dawned on her. 2 days wandering town, no police station in sight. Ep6-8 would be faster than distant cops. The second call didn't connect, busy. Suppressing a scream, she huddled, dialing again. Footsteps echoed. The woman's heels clicked, paused. A softer slap followed, stopping with her. What are you doing? Ep6-8's voice finally answered, irritated. I'm off shift. Why keep calling? Anwei Li froze, absurdity silencing her. Did she need to schedule her panic? I said there's a... I don't get what you're on about, Ep6-8 snapped. Anyone in the store's a customer. Who cares what they're wearing? If they buy and pay, it's fine. Why bug me? We're adults, don't meddle. Anwei Li blinked, tears welling despite herself. She hated this, tears spilling when angry, when arguing against her will. Wordlessly, she hung up. If no one was coming. Standing, her sudden movement startled the woman, who gasped, glancing over. Her breath seemed to excite the man. He leaned closer, his face nearing her ear. The woman's eyes flicked to him, saw the thing on his face, and let out a piercing scream. The sound stirred him. The oddity on his face twitched upward sharply. If no one's helping her, I will. Get down, Anwei Li shouted. The woman kept screaming. Anwei Li barked again. Now get down. Lunging forward, she grabbed the old off-white phone from the counter and smashed it into the man's face. A sickening thud rang out as it struck, the phone clattering to the floor. A faint, pained wail echoed, or did it? It felt distant, like a sound from another place, barely brushing this world. The woman scrambled up, dropping her items, and stumbled toward the door. Anwei Li called, "Hey!" But the woman shouldered it open and fled. Coke cans rolled on the floor, the only sound in the dead silent store. Just Anwei Li and the man remained. He lowered his hands from his face, slowly lifting his gaze to her. He strode to the counter. Bang! His hands slammed down, face inches from hers. Anwei Li screamed, stumbling back, nearly toppling a shelf. He raised a leg onto the counter. The thing on his face, knocked askew, dangled limply, pointing at her. Her scream broke free. Dingling, the door opened. Apan. Hope flared, clearing her head. She grabbed the phone again, hurling it at him. He couldn't dodge. It struck his face, twisting it. Anwei Li shouted toward the door, "Help!" Her heart sank. The cheerful female voice from the phone call answered. From the door, she could see the counter and the man, yet she chirped, "Help? What's wrong?" Feeling unwell. End of chapter 6. Who's this voice? What's with the man? Tune in for chapter 7. Like and subscribe to uncover the truth. Welcome back to Wild Deer Convenience Store, where the strange truths of this town are starting to unravel. Today, Chapter 7, Old-Fashioned Telephone. Anwei Li's encounter just took a terrifying turn. What secrets will a new face reveal? Let's find out. Chapter 7, Old-Fashioned Telephone. As the young woman approached the counter, not only Anwei Li but also the strange, gray-haired man turned toward her. "Are you okay?" Her short, neat hair and bright, doe-like eyes gave her a healthy, normal look. If Anwei Li had met her elsewhere, she might have thought her beautiful. The woman glanced at the man, then back at Anwei Li. "Miss, there's stuff scattered on the floor over there." What? She was the one behind those odd phone calls asking, "Is anyone in the store?" How could she ignore him? Anyway, grab me a pack of cigarettes. Her calm was so disarming that Anwei Li reached instinctively for the pack. Then, snapping back, she turned, only to find the man gone. "I wasn't," Anwei Li stammered, pointing where he'd stood. There was just, "E. The woman raised a finger, silencing her. When Anwei Li quieted, the woman checked her phone's time. "You the new clerk?" Anwei Li nodded. "Not local." She shook her head. "Wow, that's rough." The woman tilted her head, thinking, then extended a hand. "I'm Wei Luo. You've got questions. Buy me food and we'll talk." Anwei Li stared at the hand, bracing for a trick, a different face maybe. But Wei Luo's features stayed the same, only showing mild embarrassment as she withdrew her unshaken hand, touching her nose. She seemed normal for now. Anwei Li just wanted someone nearby, even if it was the prank caller. Food was a small price. "You made those weird calls," she said softly, then, fearing rejection, added, "I mean, sure, what do you want to eat?" "Weird calls." Wei Luo's eyes widened. "What, oh? You mean when I asked about delivery? How's that weird?" "Delivery." Anwei Li stepped from the counter to tidy the fallen items. But you forgot the important part. Wei Luo cut in, darting into the aisles like a gust. She grabbed something, waving it. Where's the employee bathroom? Anwei Li stared at the sanitary napkins in Wei Luo's hand, like a trophy. Back there. Wei Luo swept through, vanishing into the bathroom. Anwei Li wiped her eyes, dazed. In a blink, Wei Luo was back, sighing. Phew, not a wasted trip. I balled up so much toilet paper. Felt like a hen laying eggs. No disaster, though. Anwei Li couldn't find words. Was this real? Wei Luo set the open napkins on the counter, patting them like a hero. Instead of paying, she switched gears. Got Odin? No. Hot dog's fine. I'm starving. Okay, sit there. Anwei Li said, pointing to the narrow table by the window. I'll get it. Her legs shaky, Anwei Li handed over a hot dog, chips, and Coke. Wei Luo dug in without hesitation, tearing into the chips as if they were hers by divine right. Anwei Li watched, a faint envy stirring. Even under a stranger's gaze, Wei Luo was at ease. No hesitation, no awkwardness, none of Anwei Li's usual stuck feeling. She must be well-liked, loved since childhood. Didn't you see just? Wei Luo shushed her, spitting chip crumbs. Let's talk after eating, she said, biting the hot dog with a grimace. Ugh, this taste. Less than 10 minutes now. 5:52. Waiting for 6? You're waiting for 6? Anwei Li asked. Wei Luo nodded. Why? The answer came at 6:01. Might not matter to you, but it does to me, Wei Luo said, finishing the hot dog and grabbing another. Of all Anwei Li gave her, only one pack remained. Watching her eat so freely grounded Anwei Li, making her doubt what she'd seen. Wei Luo wiped her mouth. Let's talk after 6. I'll feel better. 7's safer, but you won't wait an hour. What do you mean? Anwei Li leaned forward, brimming with questions. Why 6? Well, Wei Luo glanced at the empty street outside. Why'd you come to Wild Deer Town? I liked the name. Had nowhere else to go. Anwei Li said. I threw tea on my manager's face. Emailed his shady deeds to the whole company. Wei Luo laughed, delighted. Why? Anwei Li couldn't smile. She was likely blacklisted, her career since college drowned in one tea splash. You're dodging, she said. What's going on here? Wei Luo straightened, serious. I can't just tell you. If you figure it out, great. If not, I can't say more. Anwei Li froze. Before she could ask why, Wei Luo continued. I'm a PE teacher at Wild Deer Middle School. Isn't it abandoned? It was empty when I passed yesterday. Abandoned? No, Wei Luo said. We end at 3, earlier than most schools. Anwei Li thought of the uniformed boy rushing home. One middle school in this town seemed likely. Not just schools. Wei Luo leaned in. Anywhere that can close early does, before 4:30. It's a town custom. Except places like hospitals, supermarkets, or this store, everyone's home by 5 and stays in for 2 hours. Anwei Li sat stunned, questions piling up. Her shift always started at 5, unlike typical retail hours. Customers only came after 7. It's not just staying inside, Wei Luo said, reading her face. Less activity, the better. I called earlier for an emergency. You didn't ask about delivery. Anwei Li whispered. I did, Wei Luo said firmly. I asked, does anyone deliver? You hung up right after. That's not what she heard. Anwei Li opened her mouth, but Wei Luo shrugged, stopping her. That's my truth, Wei Luo said, her tone heavy with meaning. I stay home if I can. If I go out, I'm cautious like everyone here. What's that mean? Folks here hate meddling, Wei Luo said, a wry smile flickering. We keep our heads down, do our thing, move on. Don't speak or look at what you shouldn't. Anwei Li stared at the table's wood grain, a curve like a woman's profile. It clicked, absurd as it was, the only explanation. The boy and his mom turned away like shocked when they saw her. Not her, but the old woman. They pretended not to see, facing the old woman alone. Anwei Li hadn't reacted, treating her as normal, accidentally safe. She'd dodged danger by chance before. Today her luck ran out. No wonder that woman pretended to shop despite that thing behind her, Anwei Li said bitterly. I don't know why she was out then. I couldn't hold back. You think I just reacted to him, right? But I smashed the phone on his head. Twice. Wei Luo's eyes widened. This phone. Anwei Li pointed to the old off-white phone on the table. Last I saw, it was on the floor. End of chapter 7. What's with the phone? What's Wei Luo hiding? Join us for chapter 8. Like and subscribe to uncover more. Welcome back to Wild Deer Convenience Store, where the mysteries of this eerie town grow darker. Today, chapter 8, The Empty Building. Anwei Li's ready to flee, but is something waiting to stop her? Let's uncover the next secret. Chapter 8, The Empty Building. In Wild Deer Town, two unspoken rules governed everything, known by all but never voiced. First, when you see something strange, don't react. Keep doing your task, your actions, words, demeanor unchanged. Like a customer appearing from an empty store, just check them out. If they bring an item the store doesn't sell, apologize, send them off. Or like Wei Luo, who saw the strange man but ignored him, and he vanished unresponsive to her. Second, never discuss strange things or anything tied to them. Not even the rules themselves. At least, not directly. Anwei Li pieced these together from Wei Luo's vague hints, dodging direct answers, giving cryptic replies instead of yes or no. But Anwei Li knew she was right. Sometimes I can't react, Wei Luo said. Even if I don't know what's wrong with what I'm saying. It was the clearest she could be. Anwei Li wouldn't have dared in her place. Wei Luo barely knew her. You don't even know it's strange. Can you talk about it then? Wei Luo turned, suddenly fascinated by a window smudge. In their half-hour talk, Anwei Li learned this was her way of saying yes. But how do you not know something's wrong? Wei Luo grimaced, hating the evasive talk but bound by it. After a long pause, she said, Think, if someone's squatting, are they picking up money or something else? You can't always tell. Anwei Li got it, crude as the example was. But what happens if you break these rules? I don't know, Wei Luo said, eyeing the phone on the table, hesitating. I've never heard of consequences, but that's expected. Anwei Li's lips tightened. No stories meant worse than hearing them. If no one can discuss strangeness, consequences stay unsaid, so Wei Luo wouldn't hear. No urban legends, only prove the rules' weight. It's okay, Anwei Li said softly. You've helped a lot. Without you, I'd be lost with that. So what's next? Wei Luo asked, meeting her eyes. Is this just Wild Deer Town? Wei Luo gave a wry smile. If other towns had it, they'd stay silent too. You've never heard of this, right? Nothing online either. Anwei Li nodded. I think it's just here, Wei Luo said. Wild Deer Town feels like a dead corner in a room. Dead corner? Yeah, Wei Luo said, flashing white teeth in a sheepish grin. Like a spot you can't reach when cleaning. Dust and dirt gather there, far from the room's center. Wild deers like that, quiet, dull, trapping even dust. It must be hard, living here. Why stay? Anwei Li asked. Wei Luo paused, then said slowly, I don't know. Days pass, no joy, no pain. I'm my mother's age when she had me, but no drive to leave. Like I'm caught in an invisible web, with no spider to claim me. Just stuck forever. Even someone so vibrant felt this trapped? What about you? Wei Luo asked. Leaving. Anwei Li nodded. Apan hired me as a scapegoat for after 5. If he walked in now, she'd smash that phone on his head. Doesn't matter where I go. I broke the rules, I'm out. It's only my 3rd day. Good, Wei Luo said, glancing over. Why stay in a dusty corner? No one knew what breaking the rules brought, but vague threats paled against that man's face. Settled. Anwei Li stood. I'll close up, pack, leave tonight. Yeah, Wei Luo said, gathering table trash. It's getting harder to stay safe. That sounded familiar. More. Anwei Li asked, eyeing the phone. 6:45, still not clean until 7. It's harder to pretend nothing's wrong, Wei Luo frowned. Anwei Li recalled Apan's words. Things have gotten more outrageous lately. Even I can't pretend. Was this what he meant? Skirting the rules without breaking them. No wonder Apan needed a scapegoat. Things were worsening. She should have trusted her gut. Apan gave her bad vibes from day one. But leaving meant it wasn't her problem anymore. She turned to Wei Luo. If you want to move to another city. Wei Luo stared, unblinking. Anwei Li's heart clenched. She spun, checking behind her. Store door, open space, their reflections counter. Nothing off. She waved at her reflection, half expecting a glitch, like in stories. It mirrored her, no delay. Not the reflection, then. Wrong. In the store's silence, she leaned forward slightly. Your store has a back door, right? Wei Luo checked her phone, casual. I'll help you pack. Anwei Li nodded, still eyeing the door. Before 7, the autumn evening should be bright with streetlights. Why were their reflections so clear, the outside dark as ink? Where was the town? The street? The lights? Back doors this way, Anwei Li said, leading Wei Luo, glancing at the blackened windows. Opening the employee back door, she exhaled, tension easing. She'd feared it wouldn't open or reveal something awful. The cool night air dispelled that. The alley was dim but normal. Dark blue sky, one orange light casting a faint red glow on the bricks. The front was unnaturally dark, but here felt right. This way, Anwei Li said, closing the door softly. The alley was as she remembered. Trash can to the right, a small iron gate to the left, stairs behind it to her second-floor apartment. My place is here, she said quietly. You going home through the alley? I said I'd help, Wei Luo replied, eyes scanning the alley, as if speaking to someone else. Which apartment? Anwei Li didn't want to walk the alley alone. Second floor, she said, pointing. You can see my window, no curtains. It's... As her finger lifted, the bedroom light clicked off. Silence froze them. From the dark corridor behind the gate, a sweet, ambiguous voice called. Come in. There's no one in the building. End of chapter 8. Who's in the building? Can Anwei Li escape? Tune in for chapter 9. Like and subscribe for the next chilling reveal.